Who is Andrew Ditch? Before we talk any more about this guy, you should know that Andy Ditch is an enigma. It's very hard to understand what he does and why he does it. The things he says online aren't always true, and in this video, we're going to talk about the hidden layers of his very disturbing personality. Andrew, mostly known as Andy, is a middle-aged man who is obsessed with wearing diapers, and with everyone treating him like a child. He wants his family to treat him like a baby and take proper care of him, which he constantly rages about. He thinks that his parents do not take care of him. In his frequent meltdowns, he often destroys stuff around the house, and police are also often involved following his outbursts. The most bizarre thing about Andy so far has been his "I am pooping myself" clip. For those of you who have been fortunate enough to not come across this clip, let me tell you, in this particular clip, he's just ranting about stuff, repeatedly saying that he doesn't understand, and then telling himself to calm down. Let's just say it's a real roller coaster.
And I don't understand, and I don't understand, and I don't understand, and I don't understand. I don't want to do this autism. I'm sorry. I gotta relax, guys. I gotta relax.
Mid-rant, Andy randomly decides to crap his diaper and also announces it to the entire world.
Gotta try to relax, And I think I'm pooping myself, damn it! I'm pooping myself! I didn't even know I was recording this.
Now, Andy has incontinence, so it makes sense that he cannot control this, but there are only a few things you can get away with if you have such condition, and Andy has frequently stepped over this limit. A big example of Andy using his condition to do whatever he wanted was when he fought with his parents and decided to stay at a motel. Now, Andy disputes with his parents over various things, but this time, he stayed at a motel and recorded a truly disgusting video in which he proudly smeared poop on the walls of the motel's room.
I needed a diaper ever before, so guess what? This is what my hotel looks like. Never needed a diaper before. I'm checking out.
This kind of behavior is extremely alarming. If there's one thing you should know about Andy, it's that he's constantly mad about something. He just always wants something, and he is very good at throwing tantrums when he doesn't get what he wants. This need to be taken care of is extremely severe. In one particular incident, he recorded a video complaining about how his father doesn't want to take care of him, while we can clearly hear his dad being sick with COVID in the other room.
Hey, YouTube, Andy Ditch here. You know something? My father doesn't want to take care of me, right? I have all these documents that says Dad is responsible for me, Dad's my caregiver, right? And that I don't have capacity to take care of myself or make decisions, right? But I have all that to show everybody. But I have these behavior issues because I can't take care of myself. I guess that just means that my behaviors are from the frustration of asking my father for help, because that's what I see my issues are. I asked my dad to have a conversation with him. He doesn't want to. But yet he doesn't like me calling out him for abuse and neglect. Well, Daddy, you're not taking care of me if you're not helping me, are you? I can't take care of myself. I can't function. And when I ask you for help, Dad, you abuse me. And nobody looks at it that way.
Having incontinence is a medical condition and something entirely different, but obsessing over brands of diapers and constantly talking about the type of diaper he prefers is just cringe.
Before I can tell you how exactly how long, this is the diaper I had on. It was completely dry because I changed my diaper before going This is wet on the outside. The way I had how much wetness in here, I think I may have had at least I think I may have wet more than just one time. Okay? I don't know why. When I drink a little bit, granted I had a little bit of Diet Coke. I didn't even finish my second refill. This is my refill that I had. That's what I had all day. Plus 1.5 of this here. I have to drink a little bit more. But why? I'm going to piss. So, this is just a wet diaper. It is, look, I could keep it there, push down, right? Very little wetness. Just think, I'm 300 plus pounds. Can you tell me how I have a fetish to this?
And yeah, that quite sums it up. He really does fetishize wearing diapers to the point where he would literally show his wet diaper in videos. And as if that's not disgusting enough on its own, he would also do these wetness tests, in which he would just grab a tissue or a paper towel, dab it onto his wet diaper, and show it in the camera. After that, he would waddle about doing something else without even washing his hands. Now, Andy claims that he has been to a lot of therapists and doctors, but none of them seem to be able to help him. He also told people that he has been prescribed to keep a log of every time he's peed or pooped during the day.
So yeah, this is my potty log today. Last night I put on a crinkle at 10:43. Had to change at 4:50. Yeah, it was very soaked. If it wasn't for my dogs waking me up at that time, I would not have been able to change.
Another thing you should know about Andy is that he just loves going to playgrounds. Mind you, he is a grown-ass man who likes to his pants and then demand his parents to change his diapers for him. Needless to say, why people would consider him dangerous around little kids. But Andy thinks otherwise.
Andy Ditch here. I'm going to the playground for a little bit to swing on the swing set. Some people think I'm a dangerous person. Well, dangerous people can't be at playgrounds. So, I'll be swinging because I'm not a dangerous person. Anybody wants to cause problems, I'll be on the internet.
He posted this live stream in which he was just visiting a playground, fortunately all alone. Now at this point, people were just trying to understand his purpose. What did Andrew Ditch want? Did he really have this disease he claimed he had? Or was he simply into diapers? Because someone who would have a disease like this wouldn't certainly want to tell it to the entire world by posting diaper reviews for starters. But this guy over here wouldn't only talk about diapers constantly, but would also demand his parents to change it for him. But this was just the beginning of some truly horrible things. Remember how we talked about him being in the playground and people not being happy about it? Turns out they were right. There was this one incident where Andy exposed himself to other people by pulling his pants down.
Because I did my chores before going out to my doing the playground. There were kids playing on the basketball net, and I recorded it. Oh, my interaction with them and everything. I'm not a. It's all on tape. It's all on tape. Nobody has to worry, because if I was a child with kids on the, if I was a child and I was a sex offender, the police would have been called to the playground and arrested me.
According to sources, Andy has actually been living on his own completely fine when he was 20, until he got into a car accident. And since then, he has been wearing diapers. Now, chances are that he really has this condition. However, the way he behaves and talks about it indicates otherwise. People think that he is sexualizing children by wearing diapers. This is why people feel extremely uncomfortable when Andy goes to playgrounds and interacts with kids. Another bad trait that people have noticed with Andy Ditch is his behavior with medical staff. Now, if you've followed him even remotely, you would know that he goes to hospitals quite often. It's usually for his non-existent ailments, be it his mental health or his incontinence. The issue here is that he is downright disrespectful and a huge problem for the entire medical staff due to his rude and outlandish behavior. He would also often just go to a hospital with no medical need at all, using the hospital services and resources that are better suited for other more deserving patients.
I'm in a hospital with no medical need. The hospital I'm in doesn't treat mental health, only medical. There are people who are getting sick. Hospital's full, they have no place for people. And you're allowing me to stay here at Milford Hospital during a time when other people can need it more. And you guys are just going to allow sick people get sick.
In his entire online career, this has happened a lot of times. He goes to hospitals for no reason whatsoever, and then he disrespects the staff. Once he has created a scene at the hospital and the staff is forced to call the cops on him, he retaliates by being disrespectful towards officers too. Honestly, it's a miracle that he managed to not get himself arrested sooner.
Yeah.
What is the address?
I'm scared.
Look at me.
I'm scared.
Hear me out.
I don't know what's going on. I'm scared.
Let's walk you out to your cab.
No, I'm too scared.
Yeah, we can change your cab to any address.
I'm
As
scared.
long as you know the address.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
You said you wanted to go home.
I don't want to go home. I want to be admitted for my health and safety. I'm scared.
Come on, though.
I've been hit by a car so many times, and you know what? Put me on 941 because I'm going to run away from the house, from the hospital.
No, Andy, come on.
I'm running away. You can't hold me hostage.
Come on.
You can't hold me
We're not
hostage.
holding you hostage, but we
Holding me
need you to.
hostage.
We need you to.
You're
go,
holding me hostage.
We need you to go down to the
You're
ED.
holding me hostage. Oh, you me.
Andy,
You
why
me.
are we doing this?
You me. Don't touch me. I don't want to be.
Stand up for us.
I will. I want to leave. I want to leave.
We're trying to help you leave, Andy.
You just pushed me and I had back surgery. I want to leave.
Nobody pushed you. Come on.
I want to leave. No, don't. I want to leave without being escorted out. If I'm not being detained,
We have all your stuff.
if I'm not being detained,
He wants to help you out.
no, I don't want you out. I want to leave.
We're trying to get you to
No,
leave. The elevator's this way.
these
Andy,
elevators.
we're not going down these elevators.
You can guess how difficult it would be for the authorities to manage him, especially somewhere like a hospital. He has hit himself multiple times in front of the hospital staff and police. If he was forced to leave the premises, he would start threatening to harm himself. For instance, this one incident where he was being thrown out of a hospital and he threatened to get run over on the street because he didn't know how to use the crosswalk properly.
I'm going to get hit by a car if you abuse me.
The thing is that there are a lot of examples of Andy Ditch crossing streets without any problems.
You cross when it's safe. You reach this other side, you're safe. That's on the autism testing in school. That's one of the things that Andy thrived on, the one and only part.
He definitely knew how to use crosswalks, but he decided to threaten the officers to get away with his behavior. Now, this is something that Andy does a lot. Whenever he did something wrong, he would shamelessly use his illness card saying he was autistic and that he didn't have any control over his behavior. And if all this is not enough, he also spit on medical staff before, which is just beyond disrespectful. It's truly agonizing to see him consistently get away with things like this. In late June of 2022, Andrew visited the hospital. He threw his teddy bear and earmuffs away and then left before his taxi arrived. Andrew then came back and demanded the hospital return his stuff, claiming they stole it from him. He began beating his head into the concrete and caused such a scene that he had to be detained temporarily by police and moved back into the hospital, where he threw a tantrum, spit on a nurse, continued to beat his head, and claimed he was going to sue the hospital.
Can I please leave?
Sir, no. The doctor
Why?
said no. The doctor said no.
I want to leave.
Hey, man, come on.
I want to leave. Can I please leave?
No.
I have a right.
What the? That's how you're gonna be.
I'm asking to leave. I have a right to leave.
Before you leave after that crap.
I'm sorry, but you can't hold me against my will. I'm asking to leave. And I'm glad to be arrested. I don't want to be in a hospital. Do that, I will make you mess. I want to leave.
While listening to this evidence, you can't help but feel sorry for the medical staff who had to deal with his absurdness. However, according to our Andy guy here, he's the one who's being mistreated and abused by the authorities. Now, abusing is a word that's a big part of Andy's very limited vocabulary. According to him, everyone is abusing him and hurting him. He likes to self-victimize. You might actually feel sorry for this guy, but the things he has pulled during his time on the internet leave just no room for sympathy. Instead of being apologetic for his actions, he demands it by saying that he just doesn't know how to interact with authorities. He also believes that they are unfair to him.
Been discrimination and mistreated by the police department for starting rumors how they had said I used to be a manager at McDonald's when I was not.
One thing that we have noticed about him and other similar internet creatures is that calling the police is an integral part of their story. The same is the case with Andy here. He would constantly call the cops or get the cops called on him. It's one of the two.
Possible if he had a place to work now. If he don't cooperate and he has to stop calling you guys, it's not your fault that he calls you.
Right.
Because that is showing these people that he doesn't qualify, because if he's gonna do that, he's gonna call her.
I don't want you to abuse me anymore, Dad, is why. And I'm not going back to your house, it's my right.
You don't know how to do it.
And I only didn't run away from my doctor because she was going to call police for, because I was going to run away in Buffalo.
As you can see, he was a very petty human being. He would constantly attempt to expose the police department for being unfair to him. While these attempts were pretty frail and stupid, to be honest. For instance, this one.
Okay, so I'm moving out. No longer his responsibility. Because you think I have capacity.
You have to legally change your payee.
Well, you think I have capacity, so I will ask you to help me cross the street over that way.
What's that?
I will ask you to help me cross the street, please.
Where are you going?
I'm going that way.
Alright. Just use the crosswalk and watch the lights.
Okay, yep. I got you on recording as you allow me to run away, yep.
He would deliberately approach officers while they were on duty, and he would ask them to help him cross the street. He will record the entire interaction, trying to prove that the police were unjust towards him. In this particular clip, you can see him being disrespectful, saying things like, "The least you could do is help me cross the street." When the officer told him to use the crosswalk, he walked away saying that he got him on recording. Meanwhile, the officer has no idea on what's happening. This is more than just him acting silly. This clearly indicates what Andy thought of people. He wanted everyone to treat him differently. He wanted to use his disability card and make people work for him. He believed that he was entitled to ask people to do these things for him. If they didn't, they were unfair and he was the victim. From wearing diapers to stalking people, he was definitely turning worse with every single day. One clip shows his mother recounting how he showed up uninvited at a nurse's doorstep. Andrew's mother recounts how the nurse was terrified of this 300-pound adult infant who was presumably throwing a tantrum in her yard. He will do this to anyone in the medical field who won't give him the diagnosis he wants.
And we got a phone call from the owner of that house. who was terrified of him.
And she works at the ER at Kenmore Mercy.
And she works at Kenmore Mercy as a nurse practitioner.
Okay. Well, I understand, but unless we get a phone call from somebody saying that's not in law or something like that, then I mean, he's within his right to leave the house and go for a walk and do what he likes.
I know.
Eventually, Andrew was escorted out by the police, but this was a clear red flag. If you can show up uninvited into someone's house and follow them around, what are the chances that he wouldn't actually hurt someone to get his way with things? When we talk about how he has had cops called on him multiple times, it's usually the cop in the area who shows up. In Andy's case, one prominent officer who has multiple interactions with Andy is Officer Brantley. We're not sure what his name is, but according to our research, it's something like this. Anyways, whatever this officer's name might be, the point is that Andy made his life total hell. On one particular night, he decided to call the police at 2 in the morning because he was being cyberbullied. Now, this interaction between him and this officer is both disturbing and also seriously hilarious.
Is Andy calls him to report cyberbullying.
I'm not a part of the bullying. I'm at work right now on a Saturday night at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're calling me about cyberbullying, okay?
You know, Officer Bentley, you can have a grievance against you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Because those have all worked, okay?
Have a grievance.
Okay.
On one side, it's funny how the officer is trying to deal with the situation despite it being so aggravating. Just imagine being called at 2 in the morning in the middle of your duty by a guy like Andrew Ditch. We can't imagine how irritating that must have been. However, the most infuriating thing to ever happen in Andy's life has to be the oil diffuser incident. Now, if you don't know about this incident, let us quickly bring you up to date with a few important things. First of all, Andrew lives with his parents and a younger brother, and also claims that he has anxiety and stress, so using an oil diffuser helps him calm down and relax. The issue, however, is that both of his parents are pretty elderly. In fact, his mother is on oxygen, but Andy very obviously has no concern for anyone else's health or feelings. He doesn't care that all these eucalyptus scents that he's spraying around the house are actually making it difficult for her mother to breathe.
That's okay. Tucker barked at him at 3 o'clock in the morning, so this is a way of killing Tucker.
Well, it was so strong when we came back in, papers. Joe ran right out of us. Forget it.
Not that late. I know, you can't get near your...
For YouTube to know, it's 10 p.m. Friday, March 13, 2020. Mom called police because Andy had oil diffuser on, trying to keep relaxed from my dad yelling and not giving me a sensory break when I had to take a little break to try to be able to do set the table and clear the table for him, and my sugar got low then too. So YouTube knows that I'm doing my coping skills. Anytime Andy does something for coping skills, it's call the police time.
Moreover, he was also shining his camera light into everyone's eyes, which was very much obviously bothering his old parents, who were definitely sensitive to the bright lights. When his mother couldn't take it anymore, she called the cops on Andy, and this is how he responded to it.
I don't have to. You're not. Is it court order?
We want to know if we can press charges because this is our home and it's bothering our breathing.
You didn't ask me to turn it off.
Could you stop shining that light in my face?
I can. Is that order or is that a violation? You're gonna arrest me for having my light on camera?
No, I'm asking you as a matter of human decency if you could stop shining a bright
Well,
light
I did
in my
nothing wrong except for just trying to sit here, relax, and trying to do good.
Well,
And
you're
I'm
giving me a
being
chance to
not
talk to you.
allowed to have something that helps me
You're
relax.
not giving me a chance to talk to you. All right? Can you stop shining the light in my face, please?
I have a legal right.
You have a legal right, you do, but I'm asking you, can you please stop?
I want a lawyer. I need further communication.
For what? I'm not asking.
I have a
any-
legal
I'm
right
not
to have a
asking you
lawyer.
any incriminating questions.
I have a legal right to a lawyer.
Okay. Well, your
Have a
parents
nice day.
Your parents have a legal right to not breathe in fumes in their own house. Okay.
So I'm asking you to shut the oil diffuser off.
It's for my coping skills. And I don't have to answer to you unless it's a court order for it.
Andy.
It seems like things were carrying on as they usually do in the ditch dump, with Andrew making life even worse than it already is for his family. Presumably, Andrew started the fight as he usually does, and his parents did not respond in a way that was favorable to him. It was at this point that Andrew filled his oil diffuser with a combination of water and as much oil as he could manage to fit. He then turned it on and allowed it to fill the house with an overwhelming stench. He does this because he claims someone on the phone gave him permission to do so as part of his coping skills, which is just what he does when he feels the need to act more mentally challenged than he really is. In reality, all of this is a revenge plot to punish the parents. This incident is very well known in the entire Andy Ditch lore and is actually quite aggravating. The way he's just constantly bickering with his parents and the police, despite them politely asking him to turn off the oil diffuser, is just so annoying.
Is that a request or is that a court order for me not having my oil diffuser that helps me relax?
You don't have to, you don't need that. Your parents have, your mother's on oxygen. It's bothering her, okay?
And I would have turned it off.
Your mother is on oxygen and has been hospitalized several times due to breathing problems.
Yeah.
And she calls to complain because this aggravates her breathing
And she
problems.
didn't even tell me to turn it off. I was on the phone with Praise Services.
You know what? I'm asking you to shut it off.
Get a court order, then I'll do it.
No, I'm not getting a court order.
From here, things just went more and more downhill for Andy. It reached a point where his parents were annoyed enough to agree to press charges. They wanted him out of the house so that he would stop spraying his oil diffusers all over the place. When the officer proceeded to arrest him, Andrew began wailing and acting mentally challenged. According to Andrew, he is now being buzzed and is the victim in this situation. It was fine for him to bother everyone in the house with his oil diffuser because he claims someone on the phone told him it was okay and that he didn't know what he was doing was bad. Though Andrew was very smug moments ago and clearly knew what he was doing and also knows his mother has difficulty breathing.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Stand up and put your hands behind your back.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Stand up and put your hands behind your back.
You're hurting me?
Charged with resisting
I
arrest.
didn't do anything. Stand up! Right now! You're hurting me!
Stand up.
You're hurting me!
Stand up.
You're abusing me!
Well, that's what happened.
I want to die because you don't want to help me!
Put your hands
I
behind
want
your
to
back.
fucking die first!
You put your hands behind your
You're
back.
gonna shoot me! You're gonna shoot me! You're gonna
Services, this is Haley. How can I help you?
That's for relaxing!
These videos of the arrest are taken from the point of view of some phone calls he was making to bewildered crisis services operators.
Why are you being arrested right now?
For my oil diffuser. Officer Stephen Bentley's arresting me for my oil diffuser.
Refusing to put his hands behind his back, so now he's going to be charged with resisting
I
arrest.
didn't do anything other than have an
Put your
oil
hands
diffuser
behind
on.
your back.
Ma'am, I didn't have anything besides my oil diffuser on.
Are the police there now?
Yeah, Officer Stephen Bentley's trying to arrest me for my oil diffuser.
Why don't you speak with the officers that are there?
Because he's arresting me for my oil diffuser.
Let's go.
Okay.
He's arresting me for my oil diffuser. He's arresting me for my oil.
Honestly, the oil diffuser arrest might have been the funniest thing to ever happen to him, had it not been for his poor sick mother. And this isn't the only time he has been horrible to his family either. He has done far worse things to his family. The neighbors were also not oblivious to Andy's situation. His parents were old and couldn't take care of this man-child, so they must have discussed the situation with someone in the neighborhood. One of their neighbors even decided to help Andy by finding a group home for him where he could live permanently. But Andy, being Andy, would keep calling the cops for various reasons, like he wanted his diapers to be removed. The whole thing is just absurd.
I probably would push myself just to go because the doctor may have options to get me out of diapers or use less diapers, which is why I want to go. And yeah, anything to use weight less. We're not being them at all. To be removed.
So your plan is to get the cops back over here?
Because I want my diapers to be removed.
Jeez.
I don't want my diapers.
Maybe they should arrest you for calling
Because
unnecessarily.
Dad, I don't want my diapers. I want to make you and Dad happy. But I'm not allowed to throw out my diapers because you guys are depriving me of my civil rights. I'm sorry, I asked for a shelter. Yeah, I also asked to have my brother Michael Ditch arrested because that's what Dad has said. I'm not autistic. I want to have my brother arrested. I want Dad out of Dad's house. I don't want my diapers. Dad, I want to be left alone. You're bullying me. Please, I want you to stop. I want to get my sneakers, Dad, so I can go run away. Get out of here! You do this to me, Dad. And I don't want you to do it to me anymore.
And he has a soiled diaper on the floor.
I don't want you to do this to me anymore. You bully me and you get away with it. I want to throw up my diapers. I don't want help anymore because he said I used to do all this shit. So please throw it away. Why are you forcing me to have
Obvious, Joe, a lot of it was destroyed.
Yeah, I destroyed my medicines. He
opened
said I
them up
don't
and
need
threw
them.
them
I
out.
don't need help.
So, good.
I don't need your help.
It makes it
you
easy
said.
for me to get it out.
You said that I don't need help. I used to do this stuff all myself.
What are you still going to disturb the neighbors because if you're misbehaving?
I don't have autism. I fake.
Good.
Can you please let me throw it out? It's my shit.
This is just a never-ending tirade in the entire Andrew Ditch saga. He would do all sorts of things, from calling cops for the most stupid reasons, trying to get his brother and dad arrested, and even throwing out medicine. Andy's mental situation wasn't helped by the fact that his living condition was far from ideal, especially for a mentally ill person. Let us welcome you to the Ditch Dump, which is basically a name that the audience has given to Andy's parents' house where he lives. While Andy did have his own room, he preferred to sleep in his parents' living room. The house was overall messy and in a very bad condition. Everything was very cluttered. There were probably soiled diapers everywhere. Andy did give people a tour of the house, which led to the infamous nickname, the Ditch Dump.
And yet, this is what we have. We have like 5 of everything, right? So in here is the bathroom here, and you can see it's not even clean, but yet I get accused for not cleaning the bathroom. I get accused for not doing anything around the house. I want to see the bathroom here. So I want to show you. This floor here, right here, there's actually mold. That's mold. This floor had to be patched up. And right here is all weak. I'm stepping on it and I'm pushing into the floor because how weak it is. Wow, surprising, the bathroom, the toilet's actually clean. Probably, I'm kind of like afraid to go over there because I know the floor is so weak. You can hear it like crackle. Oxygen tank that's tied down properly, so that's good. Not like downstairs. So yeah, I had to get out of here because I'm also having trouble breathing with some of this stuff I'm going to show you. Seems like up here I have worse trouble breathing than downstairs, but whatever. There's just so much garbage up here. So this is the oxygen tank, another one, my brother's trumpet, computer cases, computer fans, brother's hockey outlet, a broken TV, by the way.
I mean, you get the idea, right? The whole house is just a huge dumpster, with crap and broken things littering every single corner. During this entire house tour, we witnessed a lot of moments that were just absurd. For instance, when he tried to give his dad a bunch of crap for buying a cat stand and putting things on it, turns out that half of these belong to Andy himself.
Right here, right? And it's for the cat. Do you see anything where the cat can get on there? Hell no. Granted, this is mine. I got that. So is this. I got from Dollar Tree.
Never mind the fact that all
Remember when we said that the oil diffuser isn't even half of what he has done to his family? Let's just say he has much, much worse. His relationship with his family has always been strained, and he is a nuisance to every single one of them, and yet they continue to feed him his delusions and look after him like he's a baby. At one point, his parents were so fed up with his antics that his dad threatened to cut off the internet so that Andy couldn't post anymore. The saddest thing about Andy so far is how he treats his mother. Keep in mind, she is a very elderly woman who is on oxygen and is sick quite often. Despite this, Andy doesn't let go of even a single opportunity to torment her. One of these many incidents is the one where his mom fell and he did nothing at all to help her.
To take care of her, and I don't know how to take care of my mom, or I would. Dad, she's leaning off the chair and she's going to bend over.
She does a lot of things. That's why I say you gotta watch her.
She's like Grandma.
Andy, please.
You are.
Now you know what kind of job I got.
Well, Mom, you don't do anything. He's laying in bed all day.
So do you. So be quiet, please.
I lay.
You don't do much of either or anything either.
The past 2 days, I was taking it easy for my emotional well-being, Dad. Dad, look at her struggle. That's not fair for her.
Push! Well, then don't yell at me so loud. You can't do it. Paramedics.
No.
Dad just had to lift him up. I was ready to...
It's just extremely sad to see his mom on the floor while he is recording her in this state rather than helping her. He just keeps recording, announcing to his dad that mom is on the floor. He's just there waiting for his father to come and help her, which is just pathetic because he's a grown-up man who is at least capable of helping his mom off the floor. And this isn't the first or the only time it has happened either. There's another incident in which his frail mother falls through the ground and he's just lying on his bed, not doing anything until his father comes to help. Not only is he being completely unhelpful, but he is lying there recording the entire thing and making fun of her. And as if this is not bad enough, he's also telling his old mother that she's in bed the entire day and doesn't really do anything. One of the few times Andrew showed a softer side was when he gave his mother a card on Mother's Day. This seemingly simple gesture was, in reality, deeply significant, especially for someone like Andrew who is so rarely known to acknowledge others' emotions or show concern. In his own awkward way, this gesture revealed a glimpse of the care he claims to feel but struggles to express. It was an unexpected moment of tenderness from a person who typically lives in a world dominated by his own bizarre actions and a disregard for people's feelings.
What is Google Play?
That's your card for your books.
Oh, okay.
Or games.
No, this is how they go. That's how they have the stove get there. Nobody's even near it and things go. This house is very, very strange.
Thank you.
This moment stands out in Andrew's life as a rare instance where his fractured relationship with his family, particularly his mother, showed a glimmer of warmth. Despite his often shocking behavior, this act highlighted that even someone like Andrew Ditch, in his own peculiar way, may still yearn for connection and care. However, at the end of the day, he is unable to form these emotional bonds with anyone. He is extremely narcissistic and only cares about his own well-being. The entire air diffuser incident is a perfect example that he did not care about his mother or her breathing problem. The only thing he cared about was that he wanted to relax and cope. If we move deeper into his story and start studying his relationship with other family members, we will soon discover that his behavior with every one of them has been pretty much the same. Now, one element of the Ditch dump that isn't talked about as frequently in the Andy Ditch lore is his brother Joe. While Joe has been mentioned a number of times by Andy himself on the channel, there's not much known about him and what role he played in Andy's story. Not many people know this, but Joe has his own channel where he posts random Andy freakouts and his art stuff, among other things. Joe seems like a normal person, has a sustainable job, and is mostly sane. However, he too still has to deal with Andy's antics.
And my counselor, next visit,
Chip,
not to talk,
please
but
let
to
me
hear
be, Andy.
what
I want
they
to get
say.
ready for bed.
Well, Joe, I know, but you're on your computer, and I'm trying to express myself to you.
It doesn't mean you can come up here in my room anytime you want, Andy.
Why not?
Why not? It's 2 in the morning, 3 in the
You're
morning.
up on your computer. I'm trying to express.
It doesn't
how I
matter. Do you
feel.
like me coming down there when you're getting ready? Want to get
Well,
ready for
you
bed?
do it all the time. You go out the front door and keep me up and wake me up when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, all right.
I don't have a room like you do. I'm not up here all the time. I'm trying to express myself to you because you're on your computer. Mom and Dad's watching TV, and I have a right to express myself.
Andy would barge into Joe's room at 2 or 3 in the morning, ranting about some random stuff. And if that's not enough, he will simply refuse to leave because he thinks he has the right to express himself. Andy presents himself as someone who knows his rights inside and out. He's not just some clueless individual. He's intelligent enough to pull out legal documents and papers related to his past accident, seemingly prepared to defend himself at a moment's notice. He thrives on the notion that he can navigate through legal loopholes, using his history as a shield when necessary. But here's when things take a turn. When the heat gets a little too intense, when consequences start catching up to him, Andy retreats behind his disability. Suddenly, all that sharp legal knowledge seems to vanish, and he starts claiming that he can't control his actions or fully comprehend the situation. It's as if his understanding of his rights, so robust and well-informed in one moment, crumbles into a fog of confusion the next. What's particularly troubling is how calculated it all feels. Andy appears to wield his disability as both a sword and a shield. When it suits him, he's a master of his own defense. But the moment accountability looms, he reverts to claiming helplessness. It leaves a bitter taste as it casts doubt on the legitimacy of his struggles, making it difficult to discern where his true limitations end and his manipulations begin. His actions raise an uncomfortable question about whether he's exploiting genuine struggles to dodge responsibility, blurring the line between someone who needs help and someone who's taking advantage of others' empathy.
Him multiple times to leave. And he's harassing me.
I'm not harassing you.
You are harassing me. I've asked 2 times for you to leave.
You can bully me all you want. You can keep me awake. I'm just expressing myself. You're not even. You're in your bed. You're in your chair playing games.
No, I'm not playing games.
No, I'm gonna express myself right now.
Get out!
You have to.
You can see in this video that he isn't only invading his brother's privacy and just trying his best to get under Joe's skin, but he is also accusing him of playing games on the computer. If you listen closely, you'll notice a hum of mechanic noise in the background. This is the device that Andy sometimes uses to communicate with people. While you may think it would only say small phrases or tidbits, it actually starts signing a long monologue when Andy presses the button. It's just perplexing when you think about Andy sitting in his room typing out this huge speech while everyone at his house is asleep, but he's planning to deliberately annoy his brother. This behavior is extremely confusing and irritating. Simply put, there's just no reprieve for anyone in his family as long as Andy is in the house. Now, these verbal disputes are the only things that go down in the ditch dump. There have been countless instances where Andy lost his mind and started destroying the house. He would spill drinks or smash something onto the floor. He would destroy his already cluttered house, leaving his old dad to clean up after him. Whenever Andy would do something like this, his parents would tell him to go away and leave them alone. This, instead of stopping Andy, made Andy run to the police. It was just really stupid how he thought that he could do something wrong and instead of being held accountable for it, he can go to the authorities and act like he's innocent. Anyway, Nothing ever came out of these police complaints as far as we know.
And this is going on YouTube, Andy.
I don't care. I don't want you to hurt me anymore. I'm gonna break this so I don't have it. I can't want to live anymore because you bully me.
He freaking threw
You bully me.
He dumped the cranberry juice all the way. He dumped his cranberry juice down there into the dog food, destroying the dog food. That is destruction of property, I would say.
I know, and it's for our animals. He's abusing my animals.
He is left heading towards the police station or the park in Tonawanda.
You can see in this video that Andy is throwing a tantrum, perhaps for something he didn't get. As a way of getting back at his dad, he smashes a pack of cranberry juice into the dog food. What makes this worse is that the Ditch household had a lot of pets who were already not taken care of very much. Destroying the dog food meant that the poor dog would either have to eat food with cranberry juice smeared all over it, or no food at all, because we know for a fact that no one is replacing that food bag for the dog. If you think this is the end of Andy's disturbing behavior, then you're mistaken, as is the case with almost all of these degenerates. Andy's behavior also kept getting worse and worse. He wasn't only irritating and making life hell for his family, but he also started harming himself. It's really disturbing to watch how he starts banging his head on a wall or a cabinet just because he didn't get his way. For instance, look at this particular clip where he is just slamming his fists and wailing loudly, all because he doesn't want to go to the doctor anymore.
I'm not going anymore to the doctors. I asked you to help me.
This entire video is just extremely hard to watch. We are not going to play it here for obvious reasons, but you get the point, right? He would just smack himself in the face or hit his head repeatedly on the wall. Now, all of these things with a combination of weird fetishes make us question where it's all coming from. What happened to Andy that made him the way he is? According to Andy, he was living fine on his own until maybe 2005. We don't know the date for sure, but this is when he had an accident that made him want to wear diapers. As bizarre as this sounds, this is what Andy claims. Maybe he started experiencing incontinence after this accident, which made him wear diapers. But this still doesn't explain his obsession with poop, smearing it on the wall, and his disgusting wet checks on camera. However, there's another story buried deep behind his behavior that many people don't know about. You see, Joe is not Andy's only brother. He also had an older brother named Mike. We don't know what the basis for this allegation is, but according to Andy, his brother Mike physically abused him when he was a kid. At least, this is what his father told him. We don't know if any of this is true, but if it is, it seems like this incident has engraved the word abuse in Andy's brain, because this is what he thinks is happening to him anytime anyone tries to argue with him or tell him off. He would of course retaliate to any altercation by wailing, hitting himself, or accusing the other person of abuse. He even dropped his diapers to the floor one time, roaming naked in order to annoy and disgust people around him.
If I can, I might fall and I will die. Or I can fall and I can try again until I get it.
He doesn't even let me talk.
You don't let anybody else talk, Andy.
He's putting me down.
To encourage yourself.
You're not doing it the way to help me. You're doing it to hurt my feelings.
No, that's the way I was taught.
Then don't do it that
fall,
way.
You pick yourself back
then
up.
Don't do it, please. You're hurting my feelings by saying it the way you are.
How can I be hurting his feelings by trying
But I don't know how to do this stuff.
If you want to throw them out, we'll throw them out on Monday. We're not going to go crumpling them up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Dad, you're blocking me.
Right now.
The cops allow you to abuse me and neglect me.
Would you listen
when you
to me?
Stop abusing, neglecting me, Dad. I already threw away my pills. I already threw away my pills because the cops allow you to abuse me and neglect me, Dad, and I'm tired of it.
Oh, he's ripping his shit up.
My diaper's not yours. You don't follow the medical orders, Joe. You don't follow the medical orders. You abuse me.
Oh, he's now undressed himself.
You abuse me.
You can see that his behavior is extremely toxic and disturbing. At this rate, his actions were bound to get out of hand, with people letting him off the book every single time, and his parents allowing him to stay in the house despite all the things he did. And sure enough, it did get way worse when Andrew Ditch spiked his family's meal with laxatives.
Stands accused of spiking his family's food with dangerous levels of Epsom salts and laxatives. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Ala Arabi tells us more.
Police in the city of Tonawanda say 34-year-old Andrew Ditch spiked his family's food and coffee with laxatives and Epsom salts. Ditch allegedly sprinkled the substances on food and put laxatives in the reservoir of the family coffee machine. According to authorities, family members complained of nausea, abdominal pain, and severe diarrhea. Police say this all started in late October, and they're not saying anything about a possible motive. Ditch now faces a number of charges, including 2 counts of attempted assault. He's been arraigned in court, and bail is set at $5,000. He's expected to be back before a judge for a felony hearing Friday morning.
According to police reports, Andy spiked his family's drinks and meals with dangerous amounts of Epsom salt and laxatives. His parents, already frail due to age and illness, suffered severe abdominal pain and extreme diarrhea as a result. What may have initially seemed like a childish prank quickly revealed itself to be far more sinister, highlighting the dangerous potential of someone like Andy. This wasn't just an attempt to annoy his parents, it was an act of calculated harm. His actions demonstrate a willingness to exploit his own family's vulnerabilities, to inflict suffering, showing the depths of his malice and lack of remorse. The frightening part is that without the right interventions, people like Andy can spiral even further into dangerous behavior. His ability to harm those closest to him without hesitation or regret shows just how vile and unpredictable he can be. This kind of behavior highlights the urgent need for individuals like Andy to be placed in the right facilities before they become an even greater threat. His parents were fortunate to have survived the ordeal, but the next victims may not be so lucky. Andy was arrested almost 5 years ago for poisoning his family. He faced multiple charges with 2 counts of physical assault. The only possible motive behind this that we can think of is that Andy's parents gave him laxatives as a way to control his bowel because he had incontinence. If they didn't do it, he would soil his clothes as he was not able to control it. But Andy here didn't understand this. He had a knack for throwing out his medicine and not listening. It could be that he decided to take revenge by doing the same thing to them. The unfortunate thing about this entire incident is that this did not put an end to Andy's antics. He was released after only 30 days and went back to living in the ditch dump like nothing ever happened. It's bewildering how his parents would continue to let him live in this bubble. He came back to his parents' house after poisoning them, tried to defend himself yet again, and went on making more weird content.
Because everybody seemed to think I poisoned my family when I did not. And I have the original copy right here that I found last night when cleaning. I scanned the digital copy in my computer. This has the court seal on it. That's how you know I am not faking or lying about this document with the court seal.
He said in one of his videos that he doesn't want money or fame, and yet he made absurd requests like this.
If you want me to eat poop, I need you to subscribe to my channel, get me 1 million subscribers plus. For you guys, and you guys love, and you guys love, and you guys love arguments, you guys love drama. Well, I got that for you. If you want that, I'll do that for you.
In the days after his arrest, things started getting way weirder. He began posting some really disturbing pictures of his wounds and diseases.
Issue. This is my current situation. It actually looks a lot worse than I thought it did. This is just tonight. This is on the other side where I didn't have much problems. This is my armpit. Look. I didn't have this like this on this inner thigh here that I have problems with now. Now what you don't see is my inside of my diaper area where I did have.
Looking at his entire life trajectory, people have started speculating that he doesn't actually have autism since he has never been medically diagnosed with it. In fact, his symptoms match the Munchausen syndrome.
One of the really key features of somebody who has Munchausen's or Munchausen's by proxy is that they oftentimes will doctor shop or doctor skip. And this is because over time, some doctors start to figure out something's not quite right. They come in with these illnesses, they don't quite make sense, they get treated at the hospital, they get better, but then a couple days later they come back and either with the same illness or another illness.
Other than the doctor shopping, he always seems to force his wounds back open so that he can seem even more ill. He is angry at doctors when they tell him he's not sick and tries to throw his diapers out when he changes his illness from incontinence to autism. It could be that he started using diapers in order to garner more sympathetic attention and seem more mentally unwell than he actually is. He's pretending to have these mental disorders so that he can play the role of sick person in need of caretaking, which is why he's so resentful towards his genuinely sick mom. Whether you're here out of morbid curiosity or just stumbled across this wild ride, one thing's for sure, Andrew is the kind of internet oddity that's impossible to forget, no matter how much you might want to. So, what do you think? He's just seeking attention in the weirdest ways possible, or is there something deeper going on? Either way, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you want more deep dives into the bizarre corners of the internet, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.